Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. This is Natalie for dieselDollarBudgets, and today we're going to be setting up my planner for August in my Hobonichi Weeks. So if that sounds like something you'd be interested in watching, please stay tuned for more. Hi guys, and welcome back. So today we're going to be setting up my Hobonichi Weeks for the month of August, and the first thing we're going to do is start off with the weekly section. As you can see, I like to use a lot of sticky notes in my weeks. These sticky notes I have purchased from Daiso, so I like to print out my own stickers and then label these and, move them from week to week so that I don't forget any tasks. In this clip, you can see me dividing up that right-hand page using a Tombow dual brush marker. Sadly, I can't tell you the number of it because it's been well loved and the numbers have in fact rubbed off. I like to use this top section as my habit tracker, and here you can just see me using a grey lead to create a little box for each of the days. I find that having the habit tracker be the first thing on the right hand page, the most effective thing that's going to help me to get my tasks checked off and completed. You now see me reach for my May Paper Co sticker binder, and in this I house the transparent matte stickers that I have created myself using my silhouette machine. These are just a selection of headers and other little habit trackers that I've created so that it's easier for me to label my sections, just because I don't really like my handwriting all that much, and I just think that having a sticker makes it look a little bit neater. Here I'm just taking a tracker header and then using a days of the week sticker that I've created and just making sure that I then highlight the Tuesday, Thursday and Saturday sections because it helps me to differentiate the days of the week. These stickers, as I said, I don't sell them in my shop yet, but they're just things that I like to have for myself. You can find something similar by Randy.plans. That next section I like to use for my to-dos, and then finally this section that I'm struggling to get the sticker for is my notes section, which just houses any notes that I need for the next week. I'm then going to fill in my habit tracker, and to do so I like to support the page using either a pencil board or in this case a piece of blotting paper, just so that I don't get any bumps from the sticky notes underneath. Typically the habits that I like to track in my Hobonichi Weeks are my medications and vitamins for the morning, my morning skincare routine, whether I've contacted a friend or loved one just to reach out to people and keep in touch, whether I've completed any paid surveys, whether I've done any journal entry or memory keeping, if I've tidied the kitchen in the evening, just because I'm one of those people who doesn't like coming down to a dirty bench top first thing in the morning, and then rounding out my evening routine with my evening skincare routine and my evening medications and vitamins. At the front of my planner, I keep this pink sticky note, which is just a running to-do list of things that I like to do over my fortnight, so bi-weekly for those of us who don't live in Australia. And this just has everything that I like to do depending on which week it is. So because my fortnights change depending on what's going on, I will pick and choose from this list so that I can write down any tasks that need to be completed on that week. The tasks that I do weekly include things like refilling my pill container and making sure that I'm doing the laundry and putting away and folding any laundry from the past week. But things that change week to week include whether I'm putting out the recycling bin or the rubbish bin, whether I've reported to Centrelink for the fortnight, and if I've filmed any of my cash stuffing videos for you guys and then edited those videos. By using this system, it helps me a lot in order to not forget any tasks that need to be completed, because I do have a really bad memory, and this just helps me to mark off those tasks as I go during the week. The sticky notes that you saw me move at the start of the video from the top of the right hand page to the bottom are tasks that I don't have to do every week. So for example, for this week I've added in that I wanted to vacuum and wash my car and also clean my fountain pens. These are tasks that I generally have to do, maybe once every 3 weeks or even every month. Sometimes if I think it's going to be a busy week, I will just move the tasks forward to the next week. And this just helps me to make sure that they're actually getting completed, because if I don't sort of stick to the right timeline, I don't really feel like I've achieved much. So you can see me just moving that take out the rubbish to the next fortnight, and then my vacuuming my car to the next month. Once I finish the right hand page, I move on to the left, and here I'm just marking in my payday on the Tuesday. I like to use these transparent triangle stickers because it just draws my eye and makes sure that I know that that is a payday. The Hobonichi Weeks has something called the invisible line, which I use to divide the page into two different sections. The left hand section I like to use for dated or timed tasks and appointments for the day, so I like to draw my attention to those tasks or appointments using a tiny icon sticker. As you can see here, I've just got a binder full of these business card holders that hold all of my tiny icons, so depending on what task it is, I will fill it in with a different icon. And once I've written in that task, I will move the sticky note to the next week or next fortnight, depending on what the task is. On the right of the delineating line, I like to put in my top 3 tasks for the day. I like to fill out these sections on the day so that I know that they are the major tasks that need to be completed. And again, I'm just using a separate icon sticker to mark down my psychologist appointment, and then I will move those sticky notes onto the next week. And that will complete the setup for this week in my Hobonichi Weeks. The next section I like to set up is my monthly trackers and my daily notes, and I just like to separate this using the free download from Sterling Ink, which I've printed onto vellum paper and then stuck into the notes pages. I go to my sticker binder again and go to the monthly section where I just have stickers that are maybe monthly titles, titles for my habits, sleep, mood, and my roles, and then also the date strips that I like to use in my habit tracker setup. The first thing I like to do is stick down the monthly title, and here you just see me flipping back and forth to see if it matches up to the previous month's title here. I'll then take the same Tombow dual brush marker that I used in my weekly section and create a header that goes across both pages. This will help me to put in my date dot stickers and also be able to make sure that I've got enough space to write in all of my monthly habits that I like to track in this section. I do believe that this layout looks more aesthetically pleasing, but having it spread over 2 pages means that I do have to trim those date dot stickers, but it does mean that it gives me a lot of space to write in the habits that I like to track in this section. Because I create these sections as needed, you'll see me flip back a lot to see what the previous month's layout was. This was just me counting up how many habits I tracked for last month so that I know how much space I need to write in all of my habits that I like to track. I'll also take that Tombow dual brush marker and create another 2 headings so that I can also cover my sleep and mood trackers. Once I've stuck down all of the date dots for each of the habit trackers, I will then go through and highlight every second day. This just allows me to have a visual representation that this section covers one whole day and I don't get confused when I'm filling in my habit trackers. I'll then put up the title stickers of habits, sleep, and mood so that I know what I'm tracking in each section. A lot of the things that I track are for my general health and well-being, including my morning and evening medications and skincare taken from my weekly trackers, but I also go into a bit more detail, such as if I've needed to take my anxiety or pain relief medications, whether or not I've been able to get up and shower that day or even do a bit of self-care, and the meals that I've eaten during that day, because I'm known not to take care of myself. I've also included a tracker for my period here as well as a poop tracker because, as glamorous as it may sound, some of my medications affect that area, so I like to keep an eye on it. There are a few fun things in this tracker as well, such as whether Luke and I have had a date night or had any sexy time for the day, but I also like to include whether I've needed to take a nap or I've managed to have a no-spend day, and other things such as whether I've done any reading, because that is a habit that I want to develop more this year. I like to track all of these habits on this page because it helps me to notice trends in regards to my sleep and mood. As I do suffer from mental health issues, having these trackers allows me to notice trends and then show these to my doctors so we can better treat my issues. With my sleep tracker, I like to track the number of hours that I have slept, and I use my Fitbit and the Fitbit app to help me gain this information. I also track whether I feel well rested in the morning, if I've had any nightmares that night, or even sleep paralysis or dissociative episodes. Sadly, these are some of the side effects of my medication, and again this can affect my mood, so having this information to give to my doctors is very important. The scale that I use to track my mood can be divided into 6 categories. These categories include happy or optimistic, content or average, blah or low energy, sad or depressed, and angry or frustrated. I also track whether I've had any anxiety episodes or panic attacks in this section. On the next page I have my final tracker that I like to use during the month, and it's called my roles tracker. This was a suggestion from my psychologist to help me see the roles that I fill in my life each day. I was at a point earlier this year when I felt like I didn't have any real purpose, but seeing the roles that I play, it makes me feel good about myself. As you can see, I set up this tracker very similarly to the ones on the previous page, but this is just contained to a single page to itself. I highlight the header with the same blue Tombow dual brush marker and then use my date dots to number each of the days and put my role stickers as the heading. Some of the roles that I fill in my life are daughter, partner, friend, TV or movie lover, creator, bibliophile, journaler, nature lover, researcher, artist, and animal lover. I don't have to fill every single one of these roles every day, but this just helps me to see where I put a lot of my effort and help me to see areas of my life that need a little extra love every now and then. For example, if I'm constantly skipping the nature lover part of myself, this encourages me to go for a walk around the park or something similar. I also don't have to put 100% of my energy into these roles to be able to check them off on my tracker, as some of these are just things that I do naturally each day, like being a partner to Luke or taking care of Diesel. Like in my previous trackers, I highlight every second day in the tracker with a grey Tombow dual brush marker so that I know which day I'm filling in. Now that I've finally finished my trackers, I'm going to start off my daily section. For this, I use the same Tombow dual brush marker as before and then use a date sticker to label the day, and this is something that I do every morning as part of my planner routine. With that, we've come to the end of my Hobonichi Weeks setup for August, so I hope you've enjoyed this video and it's given you a little bit of inspiration to help you set up your own planners for next month. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye guys!